Hey guys, Crypto Sunday, and it's another slightly down week. 3,000 down. It's sort of very, very calm at the moment compared to sort of the much more hectic times, but expecting sort of some reasonably big move before long, presuming we get some sort of catalyst, probably ETF news. I believe the ARC 21 shares ETF decision, second decision, is next week. And then whether we get the BlackRock news at some point, I still think they might go early. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So just looking at some of the news. So the Messari report came out on Cardano. I did the Solana one a little while back, and that was sort of down, but looking promising. And Cardano sort of much the same. Just looking at a lot of their stats. He's kind of not all that great, but still hoping for the future. So daily active addresses has been sort of trending down, and he's still down 4% on the quarter since Q1. Daily transactions sort of slightly up, but ever so slightly up. And then total value locked is up slightly, but I think this is partly down to the token going up in price slightly, and also the total amount of ADA is actually going up, which is good. I've been sort of highlighting for a little while. Although NFT volume is down to 46 million, which is rather poor. Thought their sort of NFT ecosystem was growing, but doesn't seem to be. This wasn't particularly good. Daily new addresses was actually negative, so I guess more people were sort of not using, or more people were deleting their wallets than actually creating new ones, which isn't all that good. But yeah, I guess hopeful for the future. Revenue-wise, they do seem to bring in a sort of decent amount of revenue, $788,000 for the quarter. So yeah, that's obviously a fair amount going out in staking yield, but that's sort of similar with all projects. Solana's very much the same, but their treasury balance of ADA is sort of continuously going up, so they don't dump this sort of revenue into the markets from the looks of it. And yeah, there's a few other sort of bits you can look through here. If you want to sort of give them a read, I do recommend the Messari reports. If they do a report on a coin that you're in, they're certainly a good read and sort of give you a decent overview of what's happening. There's quite a lot of development. Sort of had a read through here. There's sort of scaling protocols and apps being built on it, and sort of side chains. Didn't think they were going to be really going for side chains or sort of layer 2s, but yeah, they're going for that. And yeah, programming languages and all sorts. So similar to Solana, really. The sort of the numbers are down, but sort of hopeful for the future, and that does seem to be the case with most altcoins. A lot are sort of quite close to the all-time lows, where Bitcoin is obviously up 80-90% from the bottom. So altcoins come later, as usual. And just keeping an eye on the ultrasound money Ethereum burn, and this week's been very, very quiet. Only 843 ETH down. Last week was sort of 6,000. So look at the sort of 30-day, it's kind of leveled off where it was sort of coming down quite rapidly, but it's still down, 13,000 down in the last month, can't complain at that. And yeah, as I say, it's I keep saying it's sort of even better than Bitcoin in that it is going down rather than just going up more slowly. This was a bit of a surprise from Gary Gensler. Not sure sort of how much to read into this, but he sort of switched his focus a little bit to AI. I'm not sure how exactly he's planning to sort of regulate or crack down on AI, whether he's sort of going to be putting restrictions or sort of regulations on Nvidia or sort of newer companies, your open AIs and people like that. But yeah, interesting one. He sort of said, the quote was, "There's a there. We can get to crypto later," and sort of talking about AI basically in an interview with Bloomberg. So a bit of a confusing statement, but yeah, that was interesting. Wondering whether they're still saying that they're going to be, fighting lots of fights in the crypto space. They're obviously still in the Binance and Coinbase lawsuits, but yeah, there was the sort of rumor. It's not 100. Both parties have denied it, but that Gary Gensler, before suing Coinbase, told them to delist all of their tokens except Bitcoin. So basically saying if they just sold Bitcoin, he'd be perfectly happy with them as an exchange, which I guess is self-explanatory, because he said all coins other than Bitcoin are securities. So if they just sold Bitcoin, they wouldn't be an unregistered securities exchange. So yeah, that was interesting. But I do sort of think this is yet another step towards possibly the BlackRock ETF getting approved. He's sort of not softening up on the crypto industry as a whole, but sort of slightly, and reinforcing that Bitcoin he's fine with. So BlackRock and Coinbase partnering up may not be quite such a bad thing. This was good Hong Kong news. They're calling it China, but it is really a Hong Kong move. They have approved 2 exchanges for retail trading. So they've been able to do institutional trading, but they've now approved it for retail, Hashkey and OSL, which are sort of 2 reasonably big exchanges in Hong Kong. People who sort of don't know, Hong Kong has a incredibly high sort of average wealth and salary, a very sort of rich country, and it's also used as a sort of a stepping stone to China, basically, as a sort of a port for China to invest in things that they're not allowed to invest in natively, or back home, if you like. So there's potential that this is going to end up being traded with a lot more than just the Hong Kong population. It could sort of go through to mainland China. So that was quite interesting. We'll see if we do get more demand. Obviously, this made the news a while ago when it was made clear that was what was going to happen. But yeah, we've only actually had 2 just now get the license. So we'll see if some volume starts coming in. And speaking of volume and volatility, I thought this was quite interesting. It's a very short time frame to measure it, but the 5-day volatility, and I've actually seen the 10-day volatility in other sort of news articles, has dropped below gold, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. So even gold, I mean, gold isn't particularly volatile, neither is the S&P, and it's dropped. The volatility has dropped below even that for what is maybe a brief period. But yeah, the argument that you can't hold Bitcoin because it's too volatile maybe is sort of coming down a little. Obviously, you can see it just spikes up and down. This may be a very, very temporary time that it is less volatile. But yeah, that was sort of a nail in the coffin to those arguments potentially, but it will take a lot more time for it to be, considered safe. It would, need to go through a long period of sort of low volatility. But yeah, I just thought that was quite funny. So the portfolio for the week, no changes at the moment. I've been sort of looking at adding some of the altcoins, but sort of as I mentioned yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, I'm just seeing more sort of potential really in the options market, sort of on my gold and silver miners and that sort of thing. Sort of looking at CleanSpark as well, obviously thinking the next 1.5 to 2 years would be pretty good for CleanSpark, if Bitcoin does well, but the options are very sort of expensive. The gold and silver miners, people sort of, I guess with CleanSpark, people are expecting it to go up, so the options are sort of more expensive, where no one expects gold and silver to go up, basically. It's just me, so, and obviously the gold bug type community. But yeah, I thought that was worth mentioning. But so the coins for the week, Bitcoin is up £8 for me. So yeah, worth sort of saying the volatility has come down. £8 up, 0.0077%. Ethereum is down 1.5%. Solana down 6.8%. So the altcoins not faring anywhere near as well as Bitcoin. Chainlink down 6.88%. Cardano 5.78%. XRP down 10%. There's sort of talks that the case, the Judge Torres case, could be challenged in part. So that's not very good. Polygon down 4.8%. Audius down 1.6%. Quant down 9.39%. Not sure if that's mostly off the back of the XRP news. They're sort of in a similar space. Power Ledger down 3.5%. Gala up 4.11%. That's been sort of down for a little while though. Basic Attention Token up 3.73%. Internet Computer down 4.8%. And VeChain down 4%. So it's been largely a Bitcoin flat and altcoin down week. But yeah, I just didn't really see better risk-reward ratio basically between the crypto and the options, unless we sort of get a major crash, and I might want to sell my some of my sort of other stock, potentially Porsche and the Vanguard Emerging Markets. It's still there, but yeah, we'll see. So yeah, leave your thoughts in comments below and like and subscribe. See you soon.